I would say if you wanted something a little darker, stay at home for the more lighthearted but better movie Orion and the Dark. Did you get the chance to catch this one?
Yes, and I kind of loved it.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I thought that this was a little bit lower, this score over here. I was just like, wait, no. Dang, I was kind of looking forward to this. I catch the little teaser. I thought the teaser was hilarious. It's the intro. I start playing the movie. I had completely forgotten who wrote it. So
Yep.
go in knowing that. I am just enjoying this with nothing in the back of my head because I'm like, this is just the new Netflix movie, like a Claws or something that they put out. The animation looks clean. It's this very funny story of this kid named Orion who is scared of everything. There is like, this man has his parents looking out for him because he is scared of the dark. He is scared of talking to like the kids in his classroom because anything that could go wrong will go wrong.
Yeah.
To the point that it ends up being like the best opening intro that I've seen in an animation because it's almost like a short film of just the things that he dislikes. And I thought that
Totally.
was perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally random aside, but we recently got coffee together, and remember I was looking through that like picture book, and it's a picture book about
The
like
tea thing, yeah.
yeah, all the different places in the world where they drink tea, and it does a thing that a lot of children's books do, where it's like this person drinks tea this way, this person drinks tea that way. You see that in children's books where it's like it's almost like a list of things just to introduce children to different concepts, or like, H is for horror, L is for lion, stuff like that. That's what the beginning of this movie feels like. It's just sort of like systematically going through these things with really creative visualizations, and I don't know, I love that sort of children's book aspect of it.
And the anxiety of it because it's like,
Yeah,
he's overdoing it. There's no reason someone needs 3 night lights, right? But you understand where this anxiety comes from with not only the way that his parents raised him, but like his bullies bully him so bad that when they move away, they send him postcards. That's funny. That's hilarious, right?
Yeah.
I'm over here rewatching it because Alina comes downstairs and I'm like, no, you got to see this intro. It's incredible. That I'm like quoting the bully where he says, wear pants. Much. It's funny. I think it's cute. It's adorable. It's able to showcase the anxiety that a kid goes through.
yeah.
And then it does the Inside Out thing, and I won't lie. I did end up enjoying the movie overall. But I thought it was such a strong intro. And the moment that the darkness comes in, because he tells you that that's his biggest fear, that Inside Out element of showcasing, night and day, that Pixar take of making them a living metaphor, it stopped being as strong as that intro was for me. Like it was on its way to being almost like a 4.5.
Totally.
And I ended up settling a little bit lower. That was for me. I don't know if you felt any differently, especially with the voice acting that we have here.
The parts where they anthropomorphize like different things that are scary, it is definitely the weakest aspect of it. Like I don't need to go on like adventures with the concept of quiet. I agree with you that I really enjoyed.
Some weren't bad.
Yeah, no, like it's cute. It's all cute. I'm not saying that it was like bad, but I was like you in just really feeling like impressed and kind of swept up in the style of the beginning. Like it even has sort of like the delayed title card and stuff like that too. And yeah, just like getting into the idea of like the world as this big scary place when you're a little kid, and all the different things that could potentially scare you, but ultimately like being scared of them prevents you from living your life. And then it just is like it gets into a little bit more of a stereotypical like magical adventures with magical creatures type story. I do think though that the kind of came back around and won me over in the end, because beyond that, it has this very interesting structural quality to it that I don't necessarily feel like we should spoil, but I think the ways in which they were able to sort of tell the story through different sets of characters and hint at like a larger idea going on than just the story of this one little boy and what he's scared of ultimately was like really winning and sweet. I felt very touched by the end of it. Like I you see it coming a little bit, but it is so smart and kind of beautiful.
Yeah. Do you remember what this green one was? Again, they're kind of like Inside Out characters, but this was
Was
like
it anxiety?
It was like whispering different things into people's ears, and it did like this cute. It did this one where it was like, okay, it's not working. I have to bring out the big guns, and it was like stuff from a person's past, like would really get them in the middle of the night.
Insomnia, right?
So whatever it was, they did have elements that I thought worked. There was like a
Yeah.
creative way of looking at it. Like, what are those things that keep you up at night? I also agree with you that they have this literal storytelling aspect to
Yes.
it. Without spoiling it too much, that at first, I'm not going to lie, I was like, okay, interesting. I thought they did too much with it.
Really?
I'm like, okay, it feels like a fourth wall way to be able to acknowledge certain things. Then a midway point happened. Then a line happened that he presents to his parents when he's with said character that I thought was hysterical. Then it starts tying it in a very thematic way. Then they like overdo the premise of the storytelling bit, and you're right. It's somehow it's this thing
comes
where it's
back
like
around.
you have to overdo it for it to come back around, and it
Yeah.
actually does. I thought it was impressive, and yeah, it lost me a little bit when you get introduced to all of these different elements there. But yeah, I like you also really liked it by the end and was surprised again, having forgotten that it's written by someone who would understand these things. It really is Inside Out by way of Charlie
Yeah,
Kaufman. This is a
exactly.
man who has always made adult things, but I think he's really able to get into the psyche of like, I don't know, your most purest way of reacting to something, and the fact
Yeah.
that this is a movie where you're in his mind the entire time, I thought it was very well written and
I mean,
went really well with the animation.
You think about films like Being John Malkovich, you think about films like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, even more recently films like Anomalisa, and I'm
yeah.
thinking of Ending Things. He's very good at understanding the human condition and sort of the way that our brain responds to different, challenging ideas. Like he's just really good at diving into the weird ways that our brains operate. And, it's really exciting to see him apply that kind of style to a kids movie, into something that is a lot less serious and a lot less, forlorn than most of his work.
So I thought that was pretty good. If you are interested in Orion in the Dark, it is out on Netflix.
Yeah,
And probably
highly
on a
recommend it.
billboard that they're not going to take down somewhere near you, because that's what tends to happen to these Netflix animations.